Right, welcome to the Arse Brothers preview show. You know what day it is, don't you guys? It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? It's Friday then. Sorry, my missus dared me to do it. She didn't think I would. I had to get that in. I had to. But yeah. On today's show, other than crap singing, we've got talking about the upcoming Sheffield United game on Sunday. What we're thinking about it, Jerome?
It's going to be a tough game.
You think?
But it will be a tough game. Sheffield United aren't easy. Hopefully we should be able to come out with 3 points, but it's going to be a tough game going there.
Yeah.
Especially away. We still haven't grasped a full away form yet.
We're not away, we're at home, aren't we?
We're at home.
Are we at home?
We're at home, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I still think... Didn't they beat us at home as well?
No, I was there for the away game. I don't think they beat us at home.
No.
I think we won at home and
we drew. It was 1-1.
We drew at home.
It's 1-1.
Sorry, yeah, it was 1-1.
1-1 at home. And I was there for the away game, so I know all about that, and it was a bag of shit. So, say no more. We'll cut that one out. Well, I know you're saying it's a tough game. Corey, they've lost their first 3 games. Are you thinking it might be a tough game as well?
Well, I think this is a really good time to play them, put it that way. They've lost, like you said, they lost the last 3 games. I think all in all, they've lost their last 4 or 5. So they're in terrible form at the moment. And a lot of people predicted that this year they wouldn't be able to replicate what they did last season. I think, they had such an unconventional way of playing and scoring goals. They've got a striker that doesn't score, but they had these overlapping centre backs that will, become heavily involved in the attack and whatnot. And I think it caught a lot of people by surprise, a bit off guard. They didn't really know how to deal with it. Those types of tactics. But now, the season's gone by, and coaches get to sort of study them and figure out sort of where the success came from. And now they're struggling. So it's definitely a good time to play them. We're at home. I think it should be a fairly comfortable win going off by form.
Yeah, going by current form, I agree. I agree with you as well. I think last season was the shock team of the season who wasn't going to be expecting. I think Leeds are going to be this time round this season, where they're going to shock a few people, especially after their 4-3 loss against Liverpool on their opening day, which I think shocked everyone, including Liverpool. I know they lost, but it was still a hell of a game for them.
I don't know if it's a shock with Leeds. I felt like they were gonna do bits when they came up.
I don't think it was shock. I think it's the surprise team of the season. It's not something you expect. Like Sheffield United last season, they surprised everyone, especially being where they were at the end of the season. What were the 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th? We were 8th. They were above us, weren't they? Was they above us?
In terms of where they finished?
Yeah, last season. We were 8th. Were they 7th? Someone in the chat, hopefully someone in the chat will help me out there. I haven't done my homework for this one because it was a really late one for me to get on top of things because I've been out all day.
Agreed.
I apologise.
No,
ninth. So they finished one below us then. So yeah, it was the surprise team of the season. So, and I think Leeds are going to do that this year for me. But anyway, that's probably going to come down to when we play Leeds. We'll get more into that one. Sorry, excuse me. I was coughing then. And I'm doing it again. And I didn't get a chance to mute it. So I'm looking down here because I'm reading off a bit of a sheet here. But their new signing by the looks of it is Ryan Brewster from Liverpool. 23.5 million they're going to pay for him by the looks of it. I believe it's in a medical.
Damn.
Can either of you two do me a favour and tell me how the fuck do Liverpool get money like this for them type of players? Like Solanke was it 19.5 million he went to Crystal Palace for, and no one's ever heard of him since. And then
I don't know. They must be agreeing to 20-year installments or something to get that. Because
$2.5 million for Ryan Brewster, who, in all honesty, I didn't even think he was at Liverpool anymore.
Wasn't he on loan?
I heard his name once, and then.
Yeah, no, I saw him in pre-season, and I know that he is highly thought of there.
It must be for 23.5 million.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be add-ons. That 23 has got to include a lot of add-ons, surely. You know, because otherwise that's crazy.
You're not kidding.
I don't know what add-ons for 20 could bump it up. I don't know what we value in him.
If he gets an England call up, if he scores.
No, but I mean, what we saying the
goals.
prices then? What is he? 10 mil and 13 mil add-ons?
Yeah, I mean it's probably about 10 with add-ons. I can't imagine
still a hell of a lot of add-ons though. It's still a lot for one guy, you know.
It is.
If he scores 20 goals in the season, you know, add-ons are all over the place. You know, plays more than 20 games.
Yeah.
So they're not going to play more than 20 games.
They need a striker.
23.5 million.
They do need a striker, though. I'm not sure if he's the answer, but they need a striker because with McGoldrick just holding the ball and being a distraction, but not actually getting any goals. That you can only get by so long with a striker.
You need a different option, 100%.
So they need to start playing a bit more conventional in terms of actually getting goals from players that are supposed to get goals.
Oh yeah, definitely. And as we're going on to their players, I've done a little bit of what I think their lineup might be on the Sunday. This is going off what they've played recently and who they've played. I don't know too much about that. I know one player properly in Sheffield United, and that's Billy Sharp, only because he used to play at my hometown football club. And that's the only really player I know a little bit about, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Egan's not there. Is he suspended?
I believe he is. Yeah, I think there is someone. Is he? Does he play centre back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is suspended. Yeah.
But
I believe the guy who's replaced him. I'm not even going to attempt his name. In the middle of the centre back there, I'm not doing it because I'm not making myself look absolutely shit.
It's fine.
I'm looking stupid now, but no, not doing it. Not doing it. Him in the middle with the big hair. I don't think he's got big hair like that anymore. I think he's got short hair now. But the site that I'm using is very, very old by the looks of things, and don't seem to update it properly. That's their team. I think they're missing Dean Henderson.
Yeah, I think so too. And I thought they would. Because I was discussing with my mate when we was doing a fantasy football team, and he put in Ramsdale, and he said, "Oh, well, Sheffield United keep clean sheets," and I'm like, "Yeah, with Henderson in goal, with Ramsdale, it's going to be a different kettle of fish." And pretty much what I thought is what's happening there. They're leaking goals, conceded. They don't look nowhere near as solid as they did last year.
No, I agree, and I know they hadn't lost by much. I think they lost to Leeds 1-0 recently, and they've lost to Aston Villa 1-0. So they're not overly leaking goals, but I don't think they're attacking forward.
No,
there's not going forward.
But that's why it's going to be a lot more difficult because it's just going to have bodies. That's where we're going to. At the moment we're talking about if they fill the middle, we're struggling to find creativity, and that's what they'll end up doing. They might not attack us, but they're going to have a lot of bodies in that middle if they play like that.
Well, if it suits them playing for a draw because it gets them off the, it gets them a point at least, doesn't it? So it gets them off that bottom of the bottom of the list of the Premier League. So if they want to play for the draw, that's up to them. It's up to us, especially being at home,
to break that down.
Yeah, to definitely score against him.
Yeah, which is a topic I actually want to talk about. Like Arsenal and creativity.
Go for it. We're here. Crack on.
Well, yeah, it's just like obviously, like as Jerome just said, when they start packing the midfield, when they've got low blocks, the way that Arsenal are at the moment, there's been a lot of improvement in terms of we've got a lot more heart, we're a lot more organized, but where we haven't really improved that much is in the creative side of things. Everyone knows that we relied heavily on Aubameyang last year to get us the goals, which is why we were also desperate for him to sign the thing, which he has. Yeah. But we were overly reliant on him, and even though we've got a couple goals from Lacazette and whatnot, our attacking players are still struggling a bit, and we're still in that midfield, not really creating a lot. So when these teams do come and defend deep, you know, we can't feel super confident that, you know, we're gonna be able to break them down.
Yeah, I agree. As we're talking about Arsenal now, I think we've had enough of Sheffield United, because I don't think any of us really know much else do we. We should do our own work, but that won't be the Arse Brothers way, to be honest. So yeah, so as we're talking about Arsenal, before I get onto their team and what we might possibly think that their team will be, to go on what you were saying, Corey, I agree. And if we're going to go on the recent games, the recent 2 games against Liverpool, we'll go more on the cup game as well. But I think it ties into them both for me. We are struggling for that creativity, but I've noticed with someone like Ceballos, when he's not on the pitch, we also lack that creativity moving out from the back.
Yeah.
Without him, I noticed it in the first half, in the first Liverpool game, in the league game, and then when he come on into the second half, we seem to open up more and we seem to move forward better. In the League Cup game, when he came off, we seemed to close up and not move very well off the back line, and it was all long balls over the top, which is very similar to what happened in the league game. But I just wanted to get that one out there, because when we're saying about creativity, I think he's that pre-assister. I hate the name pre-assister because he only got introduced when Ozil was around. Oh, he's the pre-assister and whatever. Yeah, whatever. But he is that pre-assister. He's the person who pre-assists the person who gives the assist.
Yeah.
And it's not only me who says that. Max on Arse Brothers as well. He's probably adamant about the same thing. But when we go on to creativity, is Aouar, I know that's not how you say it, but I just wanted to take the piss a bit. Would he be that man to do it for us? Because there's very big talk about him coming now. Apparently, they've moved forward in being able to sign him, or there's leaps forward compared to what we were to sign him. So it's looking likely. Do you think he could solve that problem with creativity? Corey? Jerome? Corey? Who wants to jump in?
I don't know much about him. I can't really say when it comes to him. And to me, I'm still sitting here going to say that's not the signing that I necessarily think fixes the team, personally.
What do you think?
Yeah, listen, if I'm going for anyone, I still think we need an actual box-to-box midfielder that's actually going to do that job. It's not necessarily just a creativity. If we can actually get balls cleaned up and not have to stress, these players are not so far back, and I think that's half of our problem. Half of our players can't drive the ball up 80 yards up the pitch and make it happen. They just don't seem to have that going. But if you put them in the opposition's final third, they're a bit more dangerous. So we need someone that's just going to clean up and get it going quickly. Kind of like Ceballos moves the ball forward, but he's not that clean tackler who's going to win 9 out of 10 tackles or be box to box. He isn't as mobile as we need him to be. So we've got people that can sort of create. I don't necessarily think that we lack that fully. It's just they're not a bit scared because they're worried about defence half of the time. Even if I think, when I look at the Liverpool game, if they had some balls, and I'm going to say it because Arsenal didn't have some balls, they would have hit that counter a lot more. Stop being a little bit pussying about it and actually dilly-dallying with the passes at the back. You know, we want to be real. People complain. I've heard people complain about Leno, Bellerin, all these people. I'm going to sit there. We relied on Aubameyang last season. Where was Aubameyang on Monday night? Like, I don't expect him to score every week, but I expect him to put in an attacking shift. He need one attacking attack. It's not good enough.
Fair comment.
I kind of like agree and disagree with Jerome at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, definitely need that box to box. Definitely, we need to be more dynamic in midfield. That would really help. But also, when you talked about Aouar, I really feel like we need that type of player as well. Just because when I look at Arteta, and if I look at Arteta and who he's most like, if we look at the top 2 managers in the Prem, so we've got Pep and we've got Klopp, and their systems are very different. You know, in terms of who provides the team with creativity, is very different. So Arteta coming from Pep, who had Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva and Bernardo Silva and all these, a lot of guys that are just like creative, as opposed to Klopp, who would probably like agree more with Jerome in terms of having just a dynamic midfielders and that can just, press the ball, win it, and just get it up to the front three as quickly as possible, and then let things happen there, But just looking at the manager that we've got, I feel like we need that creative midfielder to really like.
I'm going to throw this at you though. If we get Aouar, where does he sit and who do we replace? Because that's where I start to struggle. As a creating and attacking midfielder, where does he play? Who do we have sitting behind him in midfield? That's where I think I struggle, and why I probably think, we need the midfielder first, if that makes sense. Not that we might not need Aouar, but I think that I don't know. We've seen Xhaka
I think we switch to we go to a 4-2-1-3. I don't think the formation that Arteta is playing at the moment, I don't think he loves it. I think he's tried it. It worked, so he's sticking with it.
It works for our team.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of creativity from it, but especially when we faced the Chelsea and the Liverpool and whatnot, it was effective. But I don't think he loves it. I think he would rather go to a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-1-3. So I think, obviously the back four, we know who that would be. Well, actually, we don't these days, do we? Because Gabriel, he's in and out. David Luiz is in and out.
Saliba can't even get in the squad.
Well, that brings me to the point. I was going to say the same, Corey. I think he's pushing towards that 4-3-3, similar to the style that Liverpool are playing now, with that defensive midfielder. In Liverpool, it's either Fabinho or Henderson. In our team, it could be, I don't know yet. There's still and ahhing, and that could be Partey. That's if the deal gets done before the window closes on Monday. I can't see that happening, but I'd love that to happen. I think that'd be great. But that's where I think if we're going to go for that 4-3-3 formation, it would be Aouar, Partey, and Ceballos in that three. I don't think Xhaka's going to get in that three, just simply because I think Partey's going to be that rock. Ceballos is going to be that pre-assister. Aouar's going to be that assister. So he's got that three-dimensional there. In three different style of midfielder in that three formation, similar to what, like I say, Liverpool and you've mentioned before as well as Man City, because they've got the assister in Kevin De Bruyne, they've got theirs in Fernandinho for their rock, and they've also got whoever else just goes into that three. Like you say, would it be Bernardo Silva, who is that pre-assister? He's not an assister, but he can be that pre-assister. It was David Silva. And then so they've got the dynamics there, and I think that's what we need personally at Arsenal, is that three dynamic midfielder who work off each other. So I can see us pushing towards that 4-3-3 formation. We've got the three at the top, that's set up. We haven't got the three in the middle, and we are starting to get the four in the back. As we're going on about the four in the back, Gabriel, I don't think he played against Liverpool on Monday, the league game, because I think that might have been a bit too much for him. It's like throwing someone in the deep end who can't swim.
I hear you, but
I think it would have been a little bit too much.
I remember.
I wouldn't want a guy who's just come into Arsenal to his confidence just go from this bit to just down here so quickly, and I think that might have done it to him. But that's me personally. That's what I think. Obviously, when he played in the League Cup, he was fantastic. Nothing was really going past him. He's getting his head on everything. He was doing really well. But that was a weakened Liverpool team, and even they pushed us so much. And I think if he played in that Liverpool A team, I think it would have been a bit too much for him. You got to remember, he's new to the Premier League. Don't chuck someone in the fire that quickly. It's not worth it. But given time, next Liverpool game, our next Liverpool home game, he might be there and he'll be as solid as a rock. You don't know. As for Saliba, there is talks of him going on loan to Rennes. Corey, go on, mate. I know you can see you jumping at the bit there for it.
What is that about? We signed him so long ago, and all last year we were like, we need defenders, we need a centre back. We was all looking forward to Saliba coming back and whatnot. And now Arteta's saying, well, oh, he needs a transitional year. He didn't get that transitional year because of injuries and COVID. And some people are saying that Arteta feels like he needs to bulk up a bit more and whatnot. But look, from what we've seen of him playing in France and whatnot, he looks ready. So I'm not too sure if it's, that another year out on loan, is that really going to do much for him? Or does he need to actually get some Premier League experience to really know what it's about? Not playing 0 minutes in the Premier League. And then going back to France, where he's been playing for how much seasons now? Is that really going to benefit him? I think keep him here. Okay, you're not going to start him straight away, but put him in here and there, put him in the cups and whatnot. Let him get that experience. Let him pick up the language properly. Let him get to know his teammates. And then next that could be his transitional year. And then next year, he might be ready to start. I don't really agree with the loan.
No, I do sort of agree with that, but I've also got another theory on it. Which, do you think he could be a casualty of war? And by that I mean from the Gazidis Raul legacy. Look how many centre backs we've got. Yeah. Look how many we can't get rid of. This is the issue I find, and this is why I think it's probably because it's not through the fact that we need, he needs his game time and stuff. I think he'd love to stay. He was chomping at the bit to get to the Arsenal, for all last season. I know he suffered with some injuries last year at St Etienne, but I understand he was chomping at the bit to get into the team. But with us having Mustafi, who there was talk about him going, but that's gone quiet. We've got Socrates, we've got Luiz, we've got Gabriel, we've got Kieran Tierney, who can play at the back, the centre back of the back three. We've got Holding, we've got Chambers. We've got near enough 10 centre backs there. I think I counted 9, and that was 10 including him. Then, so do you think it may be not through the fact that we want him here today? It's a case of we need some money off the books to help at least fund the rest of the season. Or the fact is, we just can't get rid of the crap that we've got. What do? We can't leave him stuck here. You might as well
but then that defeats everything that Arsenal went against to make him even stop playing for St Etienne in the final.
Well,
what was the point to kick up such a stink for the guy to play his last game for them to not give him no game time?
This is true.
And then send him back to France.
Yeah.
Might as well left him there and said, you know what, buddy, stay there for an extra year because it didn't really go over the way it needed to go, and he'd have been like, cool, got a little love. But now he's going to feel like, hold on, am I a dick? What, I come here, these men say I'm good. Hold on, you're sending me off. You've still got Mustafi in the squad and Socrates, but you're sending me off. I wouldn't come back, personally.
Because no one wants them to.
But you know what? I don't care. I came to play. That's got no relevance now. It's kind of taking, like, you talk about confidence. Is that really going to give him confidence in Arsenal? That you waited a whole year, made up stink for me, and now you don't want me to play? I'm not strong enough, and okay, go on loan. When the other clubs wanted me last year?
But what Scunny's saying makes sense, though, in terms of if we...
No, I hear you, but I mean, you look at it like that for us to leave.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see it from both perspectives. I think in terms of where we are with the truth of the matter, I mean, Scunny, I think he's got a point where it's like,
he's probably hit the nail.
It might just be like, look, if we've got all these defenders, if we can't get rid of them, then we might need to get some wages off the wage bill, and he has to be the casualty there. That could be the case, but who knows? I still don't agree with it.
It's sad to see.
It probably is,
but there's also the question of, well, no, Kai Cheney, why would you get rid of quality? Because you can't get rid of a lack of quality. We agree, we do agree with that. I agree with that statement. What else can Arteta do, There's that, what I've just said, or has Arteta seen something we haven't while he's been training? Is he not impressed? Does he feel like he needs another loan? If he needs another loan, why can't he send him to a championship side or another Prem team? I don't know. I know, like we're saying about Sheffield United, they're after a centre-back now. There's a lot of talk about them needing the centre back. Loan him to Sheffield United for a season. I think he'd relish it there.
Yeah,
You know,
he would.
So there's ifs and buts all over the place with that. So I just don't know. You know, I'd love to know what's going on behind there. I just can't guess. It could be one of a million things, but I personally believe my first statement is a casualty of war. You know, I agree with that. So
It's a shame.
It is a shame.
It's a shame. It's just more than anything. I think that's not the way we want to be looking at things. Where it should be going after we waited and we're talking about going forward of Arteta. It's a shame. Major shame, I think.
Yeah, it is a shame. DWTT has made a nice little comment there. What's disappointing is that seems the team realizes they don't have a good don't have a good environment for Saliba. Saliba and Martinelli seem to have progressed okay. Very disappointing. Again, I can't disagree with anyone on this at the minute because everything could be right. That's the issue with the Saliba. You know, I don't think anybody's wrong in anything that they're saying. But anyway, let's get back to the Arsenal squad. Tomorrow, Sunday. I'm pressing the wrong button, but I'll add that to the stream. There you go. I can't click the buttons. I reckon this is going to be the team for Sunday afternoon. Any of you guys think different? Corey, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, Saka in for Maitland-Niles is interesting. No David Luiz. You haven't got any David Luiz there?
No.
Yeah.
Only because Gabriel's playing so well at the minute. I think that's the reason why you probably get kept out.
El Neni, you've got out as well. Those are my sort of question marks where that I think, you know.
I think El Neni's out for good reason.
I think he'll play Luiz.
Quite crucial in this game.
I still think he'll play Luiz. He played him on Monday night. He rested him last night. I think he has faith in him. He doesn't drop him often. I just kind of noticed that.
Well, if he does play Luiz, would you think Gabriel might move where Tierney is and Tierney might move where Saka is and Saka will get rested?
That's kind of what I'm waiting to see. Because,
that's...
You know, I think it's like, we want to sign a left-sided centre-back. Okay, good. We have. And he's supposed to play where Tierney plays, you know. And Tierney is a left-back, an attacking left-back. So he's supposed to be where you've got Saka. That's what's supposed to happen. It's only that really injuries that we think has stopped that happening. So now we're getting players back. Like, when are we actually going to see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is true. You know, could he go 4 at the back like he did on last night?
No, I think he'll go back to this. Like I said, I think this is like a nice sort of comfort zone formation for Arteta. I think he feels safe with this, even though, again, we talked about creativity and whatnot. We don't get from our sort of wing backs what, say, you know, Wolves would get from their wing back, like for last season, or, you know, what Liverpool get from their fullbacks. But at the same time, you know, they are still effective in their own way. So I don't see him changing it. I just think maybe, I don't know about Maitland-Niles. I don't know about the back three. I don't know what's happening with David Luiz. But apart from that, I reckon that's probably what it will be.
Yeah. That's fair enough. I think Ceballos is going to play in this one over El Neni because I think he's going to be crucial in this game because with the midfield being over, it'll be overly packed, especially with the Sheffield United players.
He's cut pass.
Ceballos is going to be more crucial to that than El Neni because he can pass forward rather than sideways and backwards. Similar to Xhaka. But we don't need 2 Xhakas on the team.
Yeah,
I'll give El Neni credit. He's played very well recently, so I can't take too much away from him.
Yeah, he's done his job. He's done his job, but he's just that level. Like when we talk about like Partey, he's a player that consistently does more than his job. He's got a bit more presence than someone like El Neni, and I don't think El Neni will ever have that. But I think we're getting the maximum out of El Neni at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's working well. I'd like to see AMN on where Bellerin is. To be honest, that's where I'd like to see Maitland-Niles play. on the right wing back.
Yeah, I do like him on the right. Even going forward, people don't really talk about him going forward much, but I really like the way he goes. He can beat a defender very easily, like the way he drops his shoulders, and he's got a trick or two in his locker.
He hugs the line. That's what I like. As a wing back, you're hugging that sideline and you're going for it. And that's
and when I see him bombing down that right, I'm confident that he's going to get crossing. I feel like if there's a defender there, I'm confident that he can beat that defender and get that cross. Whereas with Bellerin, I'm not so sure.
We won't get into I know if you do subscribe to Arse Brothers, we had our monthly show where we do 3-2-1s, 1-2-3s. So basically we have the man of the match over the last month, and then we have the shit cunt of the month who's in the bottom three, and Bellerin was the shit cunt of the month. They're not my words. They're the words of the Australian Arse Brothers, Max. So yeah, Bellerin's been down there. This is how they get rated from us. So if you do watch Arse Brothers monthly, or if you haven't watched it yet, by all means go watch it. It's hilarious. We had a good laugh on there, and it was a good chat. It's very long, but it's well worth it. But yeah, Bellerin, going back to Bellerin, definitely. I don't want to see him there in a minute. I want to see AMN there because, like we've just been saying, he hugs that line, he goes forward. And if not Willian and Pepe's in the team, Pepe plays better when AMN's on that side with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pepe's best games in an Arsenal shirt have come when Maitland-Niles is on the right-hand side.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we're going to see Pepe. I think Willian's actually going to be really important in this game because he can kill the ball from deep. He's got good dribbling. He has got a good eye for a pass. I feel like someone like him against a team that could possibly sit back a bit he'll be able to sort of wriggle his way into some spaces and deliver some passes to Lacazette and Aubameyang. So I think
he's our creative side.
Huh?
He's our creative side, Willian.
Yeah, just like even though he doesn't have that that vision of like say Bruno Fernandes, but his dribbling is so good that when the passing is not going too well, then he can sort of find himself in some space and hold on to the ball long enough that he can just chip it off to Lacazette or someone to get a shot off.
Yeah, I agree.
And then obviously, and he also can be a fullback as well and whip in some crosses. So yeah, I think I can see him playing. I think he will be important.
Oh, well, Willian got rested, didn't he, in the League Cup? So
yeah,
I see Willian playing as well. Jerome, have you got anything you want to add on to the lineup?
Nah, well, I just want to see Lacazette score again, but properly this time.
Well, it was a goal.
It all count. No. I'm thinking of the miss. I want to see him score this time.
Oh, that miss.
Properly.
Yeah. We'll try to forget.
Loss or not, I'm not blaming him, but I expect my strikers to put that away. That's all it is.
That's what we've got with Lacazette, though. We've got a striker that will miss those chances sometimes.
Yeah, I don't.
He's scored 3 games so far, hasn't he? He has. He's scored in all 3 games.
Yeah, he has. Yes.
So he's done better than what he normally does.
He's doing well.
Yeah, he's had a decent start. He's had a decent start, but
let's keep that form
he scored one goal a game. He's not really like
it's 1 goal more than what he used to be, or he was doing.
Yeah, but this is the thing. So when he gets that one goal, we're happy about it. We're like, yes, like about time. But at the same time, I don't ever expect him to score another. No. That's where he's. When he gets that one goal,
whoa, score like, 2, like, score 2.
Yeah, him and Aubameyang are cut from a different cloth. Like Aubameyang, he's obviously got the talent, but he's kind of got that will to score more than one and to get the winning goals. Whereas I feel like Lacazette is just comfortable, just like just scoring a goal for himself, not necessarily thinking about. He doesn't feel passionately about actually doing everything, putting his body on the line and everything to win that game.
Well, I'm going to sort of disagree with you on that one because I feel in 60 minutes he's blowing out of his arse. And I think that's come down to a fitness thing because he's constantly running here, there, and everywhere.
No, I'm not.
And he
I'm
does
not
score a goal. Sorry, one sec, Corey. He does score that one goal, but I agree with you on the fact that I don't think he works hard enough to score that second goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Not his work rate. I'm not talking about his work rate. He runs a lot, but I'm talking about that killer in him. Does he have that killer
goal scorer? Looking for the goal.
Yeah, where it's sort of like, no, I scored one, but you know what? I want to get a couple more. Like he has that burning desire to get hat tricks and to make sure that we score one more than the opposition. You know, and if we are behind, is he that guy that is, you know, all over the other team, like, you know, taking shots from everywhere and, you know, making those runs into the box to get that goal? He's not really, but his work rate is good. Yeah, I
think because he's like that, because his work rate and the fact that he's blowing out of his ass for 60 minutes, could that be the reason why he's not got that killer instinct?
Yeah, but that's why he's.
By the time he comes up to try and score that second goal, he's like, for fuck's sake, I'm bollocks.
Yeah, we've seen strikers like him before. Like they're not killers, you know. Like when we talk about Thierry Henry's and, you know, people like that, they're killers. They have the talent and the hunger to win, you know. Whereas Lacazette, I feel like he's like working hard for the team and getting an odd goal is enough for him, you know. Whereas Aubameyang is a killer, you know. You give him a sniff, you know, he's there. He's dangerous. He's a constant threat from minute 0 to 90. You know, you can't take your eyes off of him. You can't, you know. He's always a threat. He's always looking to score those goals that win us the games, which he did quite a bit last season, especially, you know, like our FA Cup run as well. You know, you can't imagine Lacazette doing what Aubameyang did.
I think WTT agrees with you. Yeah, he's put a statement saying Laka doesn't have the trait similar to Pulisic, who pulled his hammy, but was still able to get a shot off. This is pretty much what you're saying, isn't it, Corey, to be fair?
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, the thing is, when we talked about, because there was talk about Lacazette leaving and whatnot, and I don't think, my main concern was like, he's Aubameyang's mate, so I don't want to upset Aubameyang. You know,
he's signed a contract now. He's all right.
Yeah, but in terms of like where we see Lacazette compared to, say, Nketiah, there's not a huge gap in quality. You know, Lacazette does a lot in terms of his work rate and whatnot, but, you know, as much as he's on the pitch or as Nketiah's on the pitch, I can see either one of them scoring a goal, but, you know, not anything more.
I don't know. Let's not disrespect Lacazette like that. Like,
no,
you know what?
He's better than Nketiah, but
yeah, but Nketiah can't finish.
I think form. Like if Nketiah,
I hear you in that. Yeah,
but informed, then Arteta will pick him above Lacazette.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
Whereas if Lacazette was that guy, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
When you're that guy,
he's got the talent, but he just doesn't. Yeah, he's just not applying it right. He's not. He don't have that in him, like we're saying. He don't. Unfortunately, it's horrible. But I just can't hear Nketiah. We got to drop Nketiah down a little bit though, man. We can't put him in lack.
Like I said, no, I'm not saying that their levels in quality. Yeah, but I'm saying when Nketiah is in form, you can't see it, like in terms of when Lacazette's a much.
It doesn't matter who's on.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not that obvious.
Yeah, they're very similar in the sense of they do a lot of body work. And Nketiah does do a lot of body work. Laka's got the end product, but where is it? You know, sometimes it's on holiday. If you look at their stats
and say like who got shots off and on target and whatnot, and you compare the two of them, I bet the stats are similar.
I'm gonna come back to you on that one. Cause I want to look at.
We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah. Next week, boys. You'll hear it here first. Jerome either going to be looking like a hero or a zero. Which one's it going to be?
I'm gonna bring some clips.
Well and welcome, my friends.
But it's not just him. It's like we were talking about. True. I think we were talking like in our group as well about Pepe, and when we're talking about having like that killer instinct as well. If you compare him to somebody, because people say, like Arteta did really well with Raheem Sterling, but again, Raheem I think is cut from a different cloth to Pepe. Like I see genuine frustration and disappointment every time that Raheem misses a shot or he gets dispossessed, or you know what I mean. I think he has a serious.
Do you not feel though? But I think that's built from, unfortunately, media and hate a bit more of like resilience against people. So it's like also you got to remember Sterling from young was down talked by a lot of media and people that he wasn't going to do what, and he's always talked negatively. So for him, I miss. Damn it, I want to score. Fuck that, I got to score. Shut these lot
Yeah,
up.
well,
You know, like
that's
that mentality. But then Pepe didn't have that. If you get what I'm saying, like so, yeah, getting cut. But
He does
Sterling,
now.
Who?
Pepe.
Pepe.
He's got
Look,
it
Yeah,
now.
but then
we
that's
paid
what I'm saying.
72
But
million
then
for him, and we bought in Willian.
I hear you. No, I
He's-
hear you. I hear
he should
you.
be pissed
Listen,
off.
I am a fan. I'm a fan of Pepe's style, but I do think, yeah, and this is what I was going to say to you. Do you remember when we played Tottenham? Was it last season? I think it was at home, and Pepe went down the wing and he burnt Rose. Next time Rose got a time to hit him, he clattered him. Pepe was out of the game after that. It was about 12 minutes in. And since then, he's not been the same attacking player. He does little bits, but if you look like you're going to hit him, he goes, well, I don't want that smoke. I do not want that smoke. And it literally is that. I've noticed that. Like, he kind of does a dance, and if someone looks like going to hit him, he's passing it off, or he confuses himself. He done it against Liverpool. He confused himself so much, he was worried about where the defender was going to go. And I'm like, bro, the ball's over there. And I'm a fan of his ball playing ability, but I just think he's lost his head a bit. And it's like you say about Sterling. I do think maybe Arteta will give him a bit more, but it's not what we expect when we pay 72, and that's why I'm disappointed more than anything.
Yeah, I think with Pepe though, I think that 72 million. It's a bit harsh on him because it's not his fault. He cost 72 million. I think there's a lot of talk about that 72 million. Someone ex-Arsenal pocketed quite a fair whack of that. So, I don't think that's his fault.
Yeah, the price. He was definitely overpriced. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It probably was overpriced.
But
I tend to agree with that.
But he was brought in because to complete our front three. So that we weren't weak on either side. And he done. Look, I haven't got a short memory. There was games last season that he done really well in. He scored some important goals. I think he's one of our best set piece takers. His corners and free kicks are really good. He has got bags of skill. His left foot, when he lets that go, when he's got give him a little bit inch of space, and then he can whip that ball in. The talent is there.
Corners weren't great. Sorry, Kai, I'm going to interrupt. His last corners weren't great when he came on against Liverpool.
Okay, that's one game.
Not the league game.
In general,
yeah, but
he's got whip. His left foot has got whip, and I'm a fan of his as well. But I think it's what Jerome was saying. Like mentally, that's where he's lacking. That's the difference. Not necessarily like in terms of ability between someone like him and Raheem. Raheem has got this like the world's against me. Like I'm gonna just play better.
But that's why I think
just score a goal.
Yeah,
but will Pepe
Arteta
might
doesn't really have that, I don't think.
But Arteta might help him grow that, because before it was pure love. And like being honest, Raheem got love but was always having hate. Pepe was getting love when he was in France. You got to remember when we signed Pepe, half of Europe wanted Pepe. So to him, it was kind of like, yeah. So now it's all a bit of a change mode. You got to remember the Arsenal fan base is sour. The abuse he was getting throughout the season and whatnot. So some men are not used to that.
But I thought, and I agree with you. And I thought there's some players that are really going to actually play better without fans. I put him in there. I put Martial in there, and he proved me right as well. Like no fans, just way better. They don't have that pressure. You don't hear the groans every time you miss. Do you know what I mean? You can just sort of relax a bit more. And I feel like he is a player that probably does play better when he relaxes. But now he seems to have demons up there, like you said. He doesn't want to get.
Yeah, that's Willian. I think that's Willian as well now, like you said. Yeah, Willian's another demon on his shoulder again. Every time he does something, he's thinking, "Oh shit, Willian's gonna play next time." Fuck's sake.
And you know what? By speaking of Willian, like he has a mentality that I like. Like every time I've seen Willian playing in a bad team, right? He never plays bad. He often is the one player that does well for the manager. When Mourinho was at Chelsea, and it was going wrong for him, Willian was the only player whose form didn't drop, and he kept, and because so when we bought him, I was like, for that reason alone, just his mentality, I'm happy with. But we can do some more of that across the rest of the squad.
I think it was needed. We didn't have none of that enough in the squad. You know, I think after Sanchez, we didn't have hunger. Like we talk about Aubameyang being a killer, but you don't have that hunger to go out and drag it like I was talking about. You know, we don't have no one that's really going to drag our team and say, I'm going to make you win today. Aubameyang's done some bits. Do you know what I mean? I'm not knocking his part and scored some goals, but he hasn't literally said, all right, this is my moment. I'm going to make it happen for us.
He don't grab the team by the scruff of the neck and say, no, come on, we're having it.
And he needs. He does.
I talk about captains. We talk about Adams, and my favourite captain of all time wasn't an Arsenal captain. It's Puyol, because it didn't matter what else was going on. Get on with the game. Let's win. Let's do this. And we haven't had a captain that really drags anyone for a long time. And I think that's probably my bug with it. I want him to turn around sometimes, even when we say, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? Fix up. We've got to play football." No one's actually really like as a captain. You kind of they would respect Aubameyang a lot more than. I don't know, Kolasinac saying it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When Kolasinac says what you're doing, he's looking like, fuck off. But then if Aubameyang said it, he'd be like, all right, sorry. All right, cool, fix up. I've got to fix up. But he just doesn't have that enemy too.
Aubameyang is a bit sort of Scottie Pippen for the basketball fans out there. But we need that Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
100.
We do need that Michael Jordan.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
I think DW is the only person watching our show, to be fair, mate, 'cause he's the only one really. I'm not dissing you that forever. Thank you very much for watching, mate. But again, he's made a good comment there. We don't have a vocal leader, and the team requires it during the game. I agree.
Yeah, but you in order to have that leader, you have to have the respect of the players, and to have respect of the players, you have to be a consistent performer, and that's something that we've given it to Aubameyang because Aubameyang is a consistent performer, but he's not a vocal leader.
Yeah.
Now, if we had another one who was an alpha male, consistently played well, that everyone can look at and be like, I respect you because you're always putting up performance. Tierney, future captain, I think.
Future captain. Oh, look at that.
DWTT again, commenting. Thank you very much. I know he's the only one watching. Is Tierney a good candidate for the captain for the near future?
100%. I see it in him. He demands more from the team. He demands more from himself. He drives. His passion's in it. When he goes in, he's going in. He's one of them players that
he's
I worry
that
about again in the
Glaswegian boy, that's what you want.
Yeah. He gets punched in the mouth. He wants to fight you.
The only thing with Tierney is that because he's just come from the Scottish League, in terms of like having the respect of the other players, I don't think he's like in their eyes he hasn't earned it yet. Even though he might be vocal and stuff, they're still going to be like, all right, you talk well and you got passion and stuff, but what have you done?
They probably don't understand him, to be honest with you. I had a good friend of mine. He's Glaswegian, and sometimes when he's going off on one, I'm like, what? I ain't got a clue, mate. Can you just slow it down? And I would try and do it myself, but it's just not worth it.
But world-class captains, they're hard to find. Look at Chelsea.
Agreed.
They gave Thiago Silva the armband first game, because Lampard doesn't feel like he's got someone like that in his squad. Does he even speak English? Do you know what I mean? Yet he's got the armband just purely because of who he is and what he's achieved in the game. So even these other clubs, I think, are sort of lacking in that department as well. There's clubs that are around us, Man United.
Well, yeah, there is, isn't there?
Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree. Like you say, Chelsea, Man United is going to be another one. I don't think Man City have really got a club captain since Company.
Company's a big loss for them.
Yeah. The teams we're talking about, captains are very rarely picked these days. They're joint. They're picked by the team. That's not good enough. The captain's got to be the manager saying, "Hey, mate, you're captain. Sort these like that." Listen, they like you the most, so you know what? You're captain, because you're still going to be like, "Hey, listen, Corey, man, your man. Then please, listen, just try for me." Rather than, "Hey, bruv, listen, we need to fix up Corey, innit? It's part of the game, and then we talk later on." Do you know what I mean? And that's why I think you need to pick that guy that's as much as everyone likes him, they're going to listen to him. With Aubameyang, are they listening to him? Oh, you know what? Yeah, safe, bro. It's cool.
Aubameyang seems like a cool dude, man. He seems like a lot of fun. He seems like a cool dude. But I don't think, I don't see him dragging anybody, like, if they're not doing something properly. And I think
you wouldn't see a Lloris moment.
In all fairness, if you saw your captain driving up in a mirrored Lamborghini, you'd laugh as well, wouldn't you? So in all fairness, do you take that seriously? I don't know. But,
a captain should be the manager's rep on the pitch. He's like someone that is close to the manager's personality, who sees the manager's vision, and it'd be his voice on the pitch. That's what it's supposed to be.
yeah, you know? But then again, if you ever watch the football on either Sky or BT, whatever else, and you don't have the crowd noise on, I don't think Arteta needs a captain, because all you can hear is his voice anyway.
Yeah. But
you know,
but that's because he doesn't have someone.
There is that.
You want to grab somebody, you want to go up to them, like scream in their face. Like, he can't do that. He's on the sideline. You know.
Yeah. And he was a good captain. As much as we don't think about him as that in the world class play, he was a good captain at Arsenal, because he commanded and got what he needed out of the players. So he's trying to do it from the side, but he doesn't have someone like him in the middle. And I believe I've always said this captain's got to be a goalkeeper, centre back, or centre mid. I like Aubameyang in an Arsenal shirt.
I like a centre mid as a captain, because he sees what's going on that way and he sees what's going on that way. You know, he's in the midst of everything. He's in a position to help out everywhere on the pitch.
Yeah. Normally for me, I'd probably go for your centre back, because I can see more of them.
That's what I mean. One of the three.
They can see more, but they're still at the back. You know, when he's like just like, you know, that very far away. You know, when you're sat back there, and if you want to just have to sort of come forward a bit and whatnot, fair enough. But you know, when we think about great captains, you know, we think about Roy Keane, we think about Vieira, and they were involved in everything. So I like a centre mid.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I think we will end it there. Jerome, did you want something else to say?
No. We're good.
We should leave it there. We went way off topic. We got a little bit out on the preview, but we went into everything else just about, to be fair. But no, it's good. It's good. I like that about pods. I like letting them run and do what they want. It's great. I love it. The next fixture, I should have really written this down. I'm looking on.
We've got internationals next week.
Oh, isn't it? We went back till the Man City game. 17th of August that played. October. So we won't be back till around then. So that's going to be a really great preview show, I think.
Yeah, we will.
I'm not doing the review show on that one. But we won't be back till a couple of days before the Man City game on the 17th of October. So are you going to be watching any of the internationals? Any of you two?
You know what? A few of our boys have got a call up, so I will watch the England matches.
Maitland-Niles, they're in the England squad.
Mm-hmm. So I want to see if they get game time. I will be watching. I want to see how they get on. It's good. It's a great experience for them.
No,
I'm not interested in the Gareth Southgate England team.
In England for me. So.
No, it's not that. You could still have a few or whatever, but I think there's a lot of players that probably should have been picked. I'm not interested. It's always some politics. So you know what? Whatever with England, they're never going to progress until they forget the politics. 100%.
Good point, to be fair. I haven't watched it. Last time I watched England, I think it was during the World Cup, and I went to the pub with my mate, and I think it was a game that Kane scored a goal. I couldn't, even though I was absolutely battered, I couldn't cheer the goal because I'm like, I don't like you. I can't cheer this goal. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So, and I think after that, I just sort of went, yeah, I'm not really bothered anymore. Not really asked with internationals, to be honest. But it will be nice. I agree with Corey, though. It will be nice to see if Maitland-Niles and Saka get a game, because I think I want them to progress more in them respective positions.
On that note, I don't know if I want them to play, because it's usually our luck that they'll go and get injured for a period and we'll now miss out with them. So, you know, just as good as it is to get called up, I think I like them not being called up. You know, because at least I've got the safety of them being available for my squad.
That is true, but no, I like it when our young guys get called up. I think
it's showing they're good. It's showing they're moving in the right way.
When you get your international cap, gives you a bit more swagger. You come back to Arsenal like, actually, you know what? I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an international player now, and now I have to show that on the pitch every week.
Yeah, for real.
In order to get picked again. So, I'm for it.
Just before we go, speaking of swagger, if you did watch the Arsenal-Liverpool game, he went to penalties. Did you see the swagger of Maitland-Niles after he scored that goal?
Hey, listen. He's from...
Style Adrian. that was the big you dickhead.
Yeah, hey, listen, he's Jamaican. That's how Jamaicans take penalties. Yeah, just cool. You know,
Just
no worries, no
yeah.
problem. Just walk up, kick it, score. You know, walk back.
Let off a
No
cheeky
problem.
smile,
That is black folk. You want to take the mick all the blood clot time.
you know.
Yeah.
I had to get that in there. I'm sorry, I had to. I said to Jerome in a chat group that we're on,
Listen,
Jerome, I'm gonna be all over this, and I've really kept it quite good actually. I didn't say anything about Martinez. I had to get it in the end though.
I'm gonna say this as much as like it's jokingly, and I'm not it's not that I'm not a Martinez fan in my fantasy football. He's been my keeper, so you know,
He's
get
mine
me
on
points.
my team, mate,
I'm a fan, but it just bugs me when every time anything happens, oh Martinez would have, why did Leonard? It's just like, you know what? Get the fuck over it. Get over it. I'm bored of hearing that now. Like, come on, he's not here. He's saying it going to change anything, but put negative energy in the air. Thanks. That's what we wanted again. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of going backwards. Like we're going to a Wenger era of, oh shit. No. We were positive 3 weeks ago, or when Arteta signed and Leonard was number one. So let's get back to there. Or fuck off to AFTV. I said it.
No, fair point, and I don't think I can say anything there other than Martinez would have caught everything you just said there. So, on that note, we'll see you for the Man City game. Thanks for joining us, Jerome, Corey. A pleasure as always, my friends. See you later.
See you later.